Hello, and welcome to my review of Scream 2022. So, Scream officially debuts in February here in Denmark, but I was able to see it a bit early, and this is what I thought about it. Um, I just, throughout the last week, watched the four first Scream movies and was very mixed on them. Some of them really good, some of them not so good. This one falls right in the middle for me. I think it has some great elements, and I think it has some pretty bad elements. For example, the acting is actually, I think, the weakest of the franchise. It gets better as the movie goes along, but I think for the first like 30 to 40 minutes, it struggles a bit. It's not what I expect from a movie. It's not like this is a 10 out of 10, but if I were to give a movie 10 out of 10, it needed better acting than this. As said, it does get better, and I do love this cast. Jenna Ortega, I love her. I saw her for the first time in season two of You, and I've just loved her ever since. She was one of the people that elevated Yesterday from last year. She was incredible in The Fallout, and in this, she's good as well. I loved Melissa Barrera. She plays Vanessa in the Heights from last year, which was my favorite movie of last year. And in this, she also struggles a bit in the beginning, but she gets so much better in that ending. She's really good. I loved her connections to Billy Loomis with him being her father and how that like intertwines with the plot and her visions of Billy Loomis. And I love that Skeet Ulrich is back. He is, I think he's honestly my favorite part of the first Scream movie. I really like Jack Quaid and his character. I think it was completely predictable he was going to be the killer, but I like his character. He was a lot of fun, and that is very much down to Jack Quaid. Um, I love the new like horror references with the Babadook and the witch and stuff like that. That was really fun to me. I like the fact that the new rules for the requels are set by the granddaughter of Randy. I think that's just a lot of fun. And in general, I like these characters. I loved Dylan Minetti. Uh, I don't really know why, but there was just something about him and his character and his performance that I just really enjoyed. Therefore, for me, he was the saddest death in the movie. And I know what you're thinking. Dewey died. Yeah, but I saw that coming. I thought that was so predictable. I had a hunch going in that one of the legacy characters were going to die. I thought it was going to be Dewey. Then I heard the dialogue in the beginning of the movie, and I just felt like it was totally foreshadowing him dying. And then, as soon as he goes with Samantha to the hospital, I was like, okay, yeah, now he's going to die. Then the hospital scene plays out. They're about to go into the elevator, and I'm like, yeah, he's not going to go with them into that elevator. He's going to stay, and he's going to die. So I predicted that he was going to die, when he was going to die, and pretty much how he was going to die. So that didn't hit me in the way it intended to. But I did enjoy the movie. I think the tropes are getting a bit stale and a bit like we've seen this before. But this was very entertaining. I think it's more entertaining than, for example, the second one. I won't say anything else about the other movies, because I'm saving that for a little ranking coming in a day or two. Um, but I think this was very entertaining. I think the kills, that's an issue with the entire franchise. They aren't really that like creative, but it was fine. Um, but it was predictable. Getting back to those killers, as I said, I thought Richie was totally obvious. I saw that coming from a mile away. First of all, in this franchise, everyone has seen Stab, so just the fact that he said that he hadn't, I was just like, yeah, no, he's too innocent. He seems too innocent. Of course, he's gonna be that guy. Then they had the conversation with Dewey, and I was like, okay, this it's too on the nose if he's gonna be the killer now. But I was like, no, they're still gonna do it. It's just like they did with Billy Loomis. He's got some sort of alibi, but I bought a little bit more into Billy Loomis's alibis than I did Richie. And I was just like, yeah, it's gonna be him. And then in the hospital, when he's attacked, but he's only cut in the arm and then just pushed to the side, I was like, yeah, no, he's working with someone. They're doing this together. He's definitely the killer. So that didn't shock me at all. I did, however, get surprised by the fact that Amber was the other one. I was convinced it was going to be Liv. I was like, when they said, "Oh no, you're too boring to be the killer," I was like, okay, well then she's the killer. But it wasn't her. And Amber, it's not like she's the greatest character ever, but I was surprised with that, and I like that. I think the third act is pretty good. I like Neve Campbell's return. She wasn't as much as in this movie as I thought she was gonna be, but that wasn't really an issue. It was fine. As I said, I like this new batch of characters. And one final thing, I thought it was so funny that they said that the eighth Stab movie just almost destroyed the franchise and polarized the fans, and it was made by that Knives Out guy. That's pretty much just throwing it in your face that Rian Johnson destroyed Star Wars. I just thought that little line there was just genius, and I love the fact that they were saying that they were spoofing their own movie. That's been my favorite part of all of these movies. It's been the fact that they just keep on having these new ways of joking around with their own franchise. And I just think the way they, I'm not gonna like repeat the entire sequence, but when they're talking about the fact that you can't just make it the eighth movie in a franchise and just call it Stab, or whatever it was, and then this is the fifth movie in the Scream franchise and it's called Scream and not Scream 5. Just stuff like that. Just I was just really pleasantly surprised with that. But as I said, there are a lot of issues. Every time I look at Courtney Cox's face, I'm just distracted. I love Courtney Cox. Friends is my favorite anything. I mean, Hacksaw Ridge, my favorite movie of all time. But something I love even more than that is Friends. I love Courtney Cox, but her plastic surgeries just annoy the shit out of me. I can't look at her face and take it seriously. And she distracted me every time she was on screen. And then there are all the other things I said about this, is just the same as we've gotten before. But it was entertaining, and it's pretty good. I'm going to give it a 66%. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, this is what I want to do on this channel. I want to watch as many movies as I can, as many TV shows as I can, and bring the reviews to you guys. So if you want to be a part of that, please consider clicking that subscribe button.